Why is it so dark in here? Oh no. It is Halloween! Oh no! Oh no, it is happening again! It is Halloween! The day of the year where the living dead take over this realm. Woo!
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down the spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal you doom tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons speak with such a screech. You'll shake and shudder in surprise when you hear these zombies shriek.
Excuse me, that just kinda happens sometimes. On a more serious note, let's talk about Thumper. I didn't know anything about Thumper when I first opened it up on Steam. All I did beforehand was watching 2 seconds of gameplay and thinking, well, that's a game I need to experience firsthand. And since it's home to some amazing surrealistic horror imagery, I thought it will make for a great Halloween episode.
Thumper was created by Drool, which consists of 2 people. Brian Gibson, who is a musician and artist, and Mark Fleury, the programmer and designer of the game. Now, I'm usually against categorizing games into genres, but I guess you could call Thumper an action horror racing rhythm game. That might sound a little clumsy, but Thumper is everything but that, and we will be looking at why Thumper works so well. So join me in this Halloween special conception. Tonight, we're going to find out how Thumper rhythmically immerses you into its abstract world of terror. A rhythm game isn't something hard to explain. How a music video or kinetic typography is cut to the respective song in the background, so is a rhythm game. There are games that make you add instrumentation to a song, play little mini games to music, or just flat out make you play the melody, like in Guitar Hero. In the case of the Bit Trip Runner, for example, you run with a fixed speed and collect items to make sounds or add instrumental layers to the song. If you die, you just respawn a little back and repeat the same track. Structure-wise, Thumper is similar. You control a beetle along a linear track and add percussion to the industrial music in the background. Now, you could say you play as a beetle. I found my way out. It's great having you. But one look at Thumper and you see why describing it like that is not very representative. Thumper is an experience that draws you into its grotesque world. It's been a while that I've been sucked into a game like that, and I can guarantee that a lot of people had the same experience while playing the game. Because I think one of Thumper's core principles is immersion.
One of the most important aspects of this immersion can be explained by comparing Thumper to playing an instrument.
sure, Thumper's difficulty doesn't come from playing it, but from what you are playing, so maybe think of it as playing a very easy instrument to an extremely hard song, while riding through hell fighting giant heads with the risk of imminent death at any point. Forget what I just said, but the basic analogy is still important. To illustrate my point, let me show you a quick excerpt of a TED video.
It turns out that while listening to music engages the brain in some pretty interesting activities, playing music is the brain's equivalent of a full-body workout. The neuroscientists saw multiple areas of the brain light up, simultaneously processing different information in intricate, interrelated, and astonishingly fast sequences.
While they might not come close to playing an instrument, rhythm games evoke similar sensations to playing one. Your brain still processes rhythm and melodies while performing motoric actions at the same time. Also, a firework in the brain and the brain's equivalent to a full body workout are pretty good descriptions of playing Thumper. I'm no neurologist and can maybe only base this on my playthrough, but let me tell you, playing Thumper is exhausting. After a while you just zone out, and you almost have to. Your brain can thoroughly process everything that is happening on screen, and you have to rely on your senses. I'd say most of your actions and reactions you do subconsciously. It's a mix of listening to the track, seeing lights flick up in a fixed distance from when you have to hit it, analyzing effects and surroundings and how obstacles fit into each other. Yet it feels so natural. You always perform actions in coordination with the beat. The obstacles are made visible early and give you enough space to react, and the simple control scheme of holding directions and acting with a single button is genius. Thumper is a game that makes you forget that you're holding a controller in your hands, and the easy control scheme helps to underline that. The quick, frantic nature of the game breaks the barrier between player and game, and the rhythm keeps you engaged, and that's where the absurd, surrealistic horror works best. Riding through calm sections with spider-like limbs engulfing the track is surprisingly effective. And maybe even more important than the subtle imagery is the stress and dread you get while existing in this world. Rhythm games usually give the player the power to make songs nicer and more orchestrated. In Thumper, you make it more eerie and dreadful, and you have to proceed. If you mess up, the entire screen turns red and the music gets distorted while you helplessly try to catch the rhythm of the beat again. Smash a wall one more time and you are straight up dead. Combine this with flashy, incomprehensible visuals and a sense of speed that is barely matched by futuristic racing games, and you have yourself a grand game. There are so many nice touches in this game, like how the harsh sounds all fit perfectly into the amazingly composed industrial soundtrack, or how the beetle is shaped like a heart to underline the thumping motif. It helps that gameplay, too, is refined to perfection. Two curves right next to each other might sound impossible to react to, but the game always telegraphs them beforehand and gives you enough time in between to change your inputs. You will probably mess up a couple times, but it never feels like it's the game's fault. It creates a really unified experience that stays breathtaking through every second. Like seriously, you have to schedule when to breathe and blink while playing it. It's damn good. The only thing I would change up a bit would be the HUD. To be clear, the scoring system is intricately designed. If you thump more accurately to the rhythm, hit all the glowy things and play a bit more confident and do advanced moves, you get more points and a higher rank. It adds well-rounded replay value and increases the satisfaction of playing songs better. I just think it breaks the immersion a bit to have a counter pop up after every level, especially because it's the only graphical user interface used in game. The game already requires you to stay in rhythm to survive, so maybe for a first playthrough it could have been turned off. That being said, you can manually turn it off in the menu, and I'm honestly just trying to find something bad about the game. So yeah. Since we've talked about Immersion on this episode, the devs also made a PlayStation VR version with a couple of changes to it. I don't own a PSVR headset, but if there was one game I'd like to play, it would probably be Thumper. It isn't just that you have the extra bonus of looking around you. I feel like Thumper was conceptually designed to be a game to be displayed both on a screen and in VR, and I'm glad they went through the extra effort. It's a game that emphasizes immersion, and VR is a perfect fit for it.
Regardless of your possession of a VR headset, Thumper is a game that perfectly achieves what it sets out to do. It has a strong concept, and Drool made it into a startlingly impressive experience with refined design and a strong soundtrack. It's one of those gems that fundamentally change how we look at a genre, and even though it's hard to tell how much of an impact it will have on rhythm games or virtual reality, I still just couldn't be happier that it exists. So, if you watched this video all the way through without having played the game, do me a favor and get the game. It's worth it. That's really all for tonight. Otherwise, I just wish you a spooky Halloween. Goodbye.
Spooky, scary skeletons send shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons speak with such a screech. You shake and shudder in surprise when you hear these zombies shriek. We're so sorry, skeletons, you're so misunderstood. You only want to socialize, but I don't think we should. 'Cause spooky, scary skeletons start starting shrilly screams. They'll sneak from their sarcophagus and just won't leave you be.